I chose to teach at Oregon Law because I wanted to be in the West. I feel like there's a lot of room out here to grow and a lot of pioneering spirit, and I wanted to be a part of that. And Oregon Law appealed to me because it's an intellectual place, but it's very quirky, it's very activist, it's public-minded. The students here are very cooperative and yet very interested in mastering the subject, and so it was a perfect fit for me and for what I want to do. Well, coming from the East Coast, what I find most engaging is the way the students here actually do want to save the world. And it sounds like a cliche, but they are incredibly public-minded, incredibly public service oriented, and environmentally incredibly aware. So these kinds of qualities make them very different kinds of law students to interact with, because they're here not necessarily to make the big bucks, although some of them are here who want to go into firm life, but they're here to make a big difference. And so it's exciting for me as a professor to empower people who are like that, and that's why I think I've become so engaged with our community. Well, I teach in what seems like kind of contradictory areas. I teach in the litigation area, civil procedure and conflicts of law, and I teach in the alternative dispute resolution area, which are alternatives to going through litigation, so things like negotiation, mediation, and that sort of thing. And so these two things are very similar in my mind because they have to do with figuring out the best way to resolve a dispute, or to come up with a system, or to manage conflict. And so I try to teach them a very integrated way, because in real life they are very integrated. You don't have a pure alternative system and you don't have pure litigation anymore. So so I like to, in my teaching, show how interconnected everything is. So one of the main reasons we wanted to move out here was to live in the Pacific Northwest. My husband and I had never lived here before, and we just love it. It is so beautiful and so open. It's amazing how much nature and coffee kiosks and hiking there is. We love it. It's also true that it's not stuffy or staid. It's definitely a place where there aren't the same kinds of pre-existing assumptions or old-fashioned ways, and I think that the Oregon lawyer is very much somebody in that same Pacific Northwest ethos.